When most people think of dragons, they imagine giant fire-breathing monsters destroying castles and battling knights. But in the East, dragons were something completely different. They were gods of the sky, masters of storms, protectors of rivers and oceans, and symbols of wisdom, power, and divine authority. For thousands of years, Eastern dragons shaped myths, religions, emperors, and entire civilizations across places like China, Japan, and Korea. Today, we're exploring the incredible history, powers, and abilities of Eastern fantasy dragons, and why they remain some of the most legendary creatures ever imagined. Eastern dragons are legendary creatures from Asian mythology and folklore. Unlike Western dragons, Eastern dragons are usually seen as wise, spiritual, and benevolent beings rather than evil monsters. They are often long and serpent-like, with scales, claws, antlers, whiskers, and glowing eyes. Many legends describe them as creatures made from multiple animals combined together. According to ancient Chinese descriptions, dragons possessed the horns of a deer, the claws of an eagle, the scales of a fish, the body of a snake, the eyes of a demon. These dragons weren't just animals. They were cosmic beings connected to nature itself. In many myths, dragons controlled rain, rivers, oceans, winds, thunder, seasons, fertility of the land. To ancient civilizations, dragons represented harmony between heaven and earth. The history of Eastern dragons goes back thousands of years. Some of the earliest dragon symbols were discovered in ancient Chinese cultures over 5,000 years old. These early dragon images appeared on jade carvings, pottery, ancient tombs, religious artifacts. Over time, dragons became deeply connected to imperial power. In imperial China, the dragon became the symbol of the emperor himself. Only the emperor was allowed to wear certain dragon symbols, especially the famous five-clawed dragon. People believed emperors ruled with the mandate of heaven, meaning dragons symbolized divine authority granted by the heavens. Dragons also spread across Asia. In Japan, dragons became linked with oceans, storms, and sea gods. In Korea, dragons symbolized wisdom, balance, and royal protection. Even today, dragons remain central symbols in Asian festivals, temples, martial arts, anime, films, and fantasy stories. 1. Weather control. One of the most famous dragon abilities was weather manipulation. Eastern dragons could create storms, summon rain, control lightning, move clouds, cause floods. Ancient farmers prayed to dragon gods during droughts because they believed dragons controlled rainfall. Some myths describe dragons rising into the sky during thunderstorms. The roaring thunder. That was said to be the dragon's voice. 2. Water manipulation. Eastern dragons were strongly connected to water. Many legends describe dragons living deep beneath oceans, inside rivers, in underwater palaces, beneath lakes and waterfalls. Dragon kings ruled the 4 seas in Chinese mythology. Each dragon king controlled tides, sea creatures, storms, seasonal rains. These beings were treated almost like gods. 3. Shape-shifting. Unlike many Western dragons, Eastern dragons often possessed magical intelligence and shape-shifting powers. Some legends say dragons could transform into humans, spirits, animals, mist or clouds. This allowed dragons to secretly walk among mortals. In fantasy stories, dragons sometimes appear as wise old sages or mysterious warriors hiding their true identity. 4. Flight without wings. One of the most fascinating things about Eastern dragons. Most of them don't even have wings. Yet they fly effortlessly through the heavens. Ancient myths describe dragons floating through the sky using spiritual energy or divine power. This gave them an almost godlike appearance compared to earthly creatures. 5. Immortality and spiritual energy. Eastern dragons were often considered immortal beings. Some legends say they gained power through meditation, heavenly energy, ancient wisdom, spiritual cultivation. This idea heavily influenced fantasy genres like Xianxia, Wuxia, cultivation stories, anime and manga. Many modern fantasy dragons in Eastern media are portrayed as ancient beings with limitless spiritual power. Chinese dragons, Long. Chinese dragons, known as Long, are the most famous Eastern dragons. They symbolize prosperity, power, good fortune, protection. Many Chinese dragons are seen as noble and wise rather than destructive. Japanese dragons, Ryu. Japanese dragons, or Ryu, are often more connected to the sea. Some are protectors, while others can be dangerous or vengeful. Japanese dragon legends frequently involve sacred temples, ocean gods, samurai myths, giant sea serpents. Korean dragons, Yong. Korean dragons are usually portrayed as kind and benevolent beings. Unlike many European dragons, Korean dragons rarely represent evil. They are connected with wisdom, royal authority, nature, spiritual balance. Some Korean myths even describe dragons carrying magical jewels that grant immense power. Eastern dragons continue to inspire modern entertainment today. You can see their influence in anime, video games, movies, fantasy novels, martial arts stories. Popular franchises inspired by Eastern dragons include Dragon Ball, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Spirited Away, Genshin Impact, American Dragon Jake Long. These dragons are often shown as ancient, intelligent beings tied to destiny and supernatural power. Eastern dragons were never just monsters. They were symbols of nature, wisdom, balance, and divine power. For thousands of years, they ruled myths and legends across Asia, shaping cultures, religions, and fantasy worlds that still inspire millions today. And honestly, their legends may be even more powerful than the dragons themselves.